Hello friends and formulators, this here is MDB and you are on the $1 Million Batch Maker. Today I am finally taking care of a request I've gotten time and time again from viewers. You know, they say, MDB, where do you get such amazing cosmetic ingredients that we can also use in our DIY or hobbyist, soap, shampoos, lotions, anything we cover here on the channel? Well, finally, I've gotten around to it. This is the video of your dreams. We're covering the best cosmetic ingredient suppliers of 2024. That's right. Stick around. You don't want to miss this. All right, let's jump right in. The first on our list is bulkapothecary.com. Based in Ohio, Bulk Apothecary has an absolutely insane variety for the DIYers, hobbyists, and general manufacturers of those in the beauty care, spa care, and the wellness space. Honestly, the vast array of things they have is truly insane. I advise you to go check it out yourself because I can't even describe everything they have here. For example, I didn't even know dough bowls were a thing until I visited bulkapothecary.com. And FYI, I'm a little bit impartial here because they're in Ohio, I'm on the East Coast, it's a fairly short shipping time. For other people, that might not be the case. On the plus side, Bulk Apothecary, as I've already said, has an insane variety of items for any of your beauty care, skin care, or hair care needs. They're also one of the beauty supply companies that I notice has a lot of deals, a lot of promotions, and consequently a lot of discounts, up to 60% during some prime selling seasons. I will make the comment, however, that most of their inventory tends to gear towards the soap and candle making side of the industry. On the negative, and this is purely based on online reviews and hearsay, they seem to have a few issues with customer service. Getting a response from calls and emails to their offices seems to be an issue for some. Personally, that's never been the experience of me. And maybe also on the negative, though some people might not say it's a negative, they only seem to be a beauty supply shop. They don't have any private label offerings or custom formulation offerings like some of the others do that are also on this list. Which brings me to number 2, makingcosmetics.com. And I'll tell you straight up, they have actually become a very critical part of my company's supply chain as of late, and I'll tell you exactly why. On the plus side, just like bulkapothecary.com, they have an absolutely vast variety of items that you can purchase. But there are 3 categories in which I think they really stand out on in terms of variety: botanicals and extracts and cosmeceuticals, which is a category which you won't really see with the other beauty suppliers. Another plus, as far as online beauty supply retailers go, I found them to be reasonably priced in most instances. Again, I'm sure it depends on the product category where you purchase things from, but for whatever we get, sometimes they are the lowest or close to the lowest provider of that particular item. Plus number 3, they also seem to be a very digital first company, which is a very smart strategy on their part. As you may have noticed, many influencers, when they're doing tutorials or demonstrations on their channels, are using products from makingcosmetics.com. Not a coincidence. And if you make it to their coveted newsletter, you will get bombarded with emails. So either on their website or on numerous vlogs and blogs, you can see formulas developed by makingcosmetics.com, as well as percentages, methods, and usages for all the formulas they have floating out there on the ethernets. Last plus, I swear, they also tend to have very good paperwork. This includes C of A's, SDS's, and any other, product sheets that are related to whatever you bought. So on that front, they also tend to be one of the better companies online. Now, there are only 2 negatives I have to discuss, but they are pretty big negatives. First, they are a digital first company. You notice I mentioned this in the plus list. Well, there are some downsides to being such a digital first company. First of all, I personally found once I got on the Making Cosmetics newsletter, I could never ever get off. no matter how much I unsubscribed. Secondly, and you'll find this to be a very common issue with the beauty supply industry, customer service. I've personally had issues trying to get someone by phone or by email, and I've heard the same thing from people both in person and online. But this is a very common issue with companies who also claim to be digital first. Oh, and I forgot one last one. The makingcosmetics.com site itself, I don't know, it's been pretty glitchy as of late. At one point, I think 2 years ago, I actually placed an order through the site, never got a confirmation email back, and my order never went through. So that's that. Also negative, no private label capability as far as I know. Also no custom formulation capability as well. Next on the list, number 3 on the list is probably the oldest and one of the better known companies in the Northern Hemisphere. I'm not kidding. New Directions Aromatics. Established in 1997, I personally have been dealing with New Directions Aromatics since the start of my career. They have many pluses, and I'll get to all of them in a second, but I want to highlight one that is amazing and a beautiful change of pace from what we've been talking about so far. They have amazing customer service. I mean, really amazing. I mean, maybe it's because they're Canadian, who knows, but it really is amazing. I've called them up to ask for information on various products that I've bought in the past, and the staff have been very helpful, very cooperative, and they actually follow up when they said they're trying to resolve something for me on the back end. As the name suggests, New Directions Aromatics does specialize in fine fragrance products and essential oil products as well. But over the years, they have expanded their product offerings to include things to help with, soap making, candle making, skincare, etc. They even have their own private label, I believe it's called NDA, if anyone's interested. Another great plus is that New Directions staff is very knowledgeable about the products they carry. Not joking, I've been amazed at how the staff has been able to determine for me, the difference between absolute oils, essential oils, carrier oils, CO2 extracts, and hydrosols, and they can tell you what region of what country and what farm this oil or that oil came from. It is truly mind-blowing. For that alone, I want to give them a 10 out of 10. Plus number 3, again, excellent paperwork. And I believe since they're in the fine fragrance business, they're regulated probably more heavily than any of the others on the list, so I'm not surprised. As far as negatives go, honestly not too many. The fact that their product offerings do skew towards aromatic chemicals might be a downside, but hey, they know their market. And it's also, as far as I can tell, they don't really have any private label capabilities or formulation capabilities. Next on our list is Wholesale Supplies Plus. If you are a soap maker or a candle maker, I'm damn sure you've actually heard of these guys. They are probably a bigger soap and candle maker than the bulk apothecary company I mentioned at number 1. These guys have been in the game forever and a day. On the plus side, I did mention that they supply a ton of soap and candle making materials. Even that is an understatement. Not only do they have a massive online shop for this, private label distributor brands that you've probably heard of. I have one here, Crafter's Choice. But they also have Elements Bath and Beauty, Rustic Essence, and I believe it's Just Scent. Another plus that I honestly find is that their customer service is actually pretty good. They don't seem to be a digital first company, unlike Making Cosmetics, and because they are a distributor to larger organizations, I imagine they have to have good customer service in order to manage that part of their operation. Now for the downside, and there is one major downside. A few years ago, they attained 2 websites, I imagine mostly for the web traffic, Make Your Own .buzz and ChemistryConnection.com. Those are 2 sites that I also personally used to purchase from in the past. But under the new management, those sites have pretty much atrophied. There is no such thing as customer services. The sites themselves are very glitchy, they look very outdated. And I'm just saying, if Wholesale Supplies Plus wants to acquire something, at least maintain it. Also, they don't really have any, contract manufacturing, private label, or custom formulation capabilities as far as I know. And that brings me to the next one on the list, Brambleberry.com. Located in Washington State, Brambleberry is fairly new to me, but I have been using them more and more as time goes on. Again, just like Wholesale Supplies Plus and Bulk Apothecary, they do tend to specialize in the soap and candle making supply space, though they do have substantial offerings in both hair care and skin care as well. I personally have found their pricing to be comparable to Wholesale Supplies Plus, although with the shipping from Washington State to me all the way here in the East Coast, it's not always the best situation, though if you live in the West Coast, I'm sure it's perfectly fine. Now, the negatives. And again, I haven't had much experience with them to really comment on any of these negatives, but they're based purely on online hearsay. They seem to have some issues with shipping time. I personally haven't experienced this, and many of negative reviews on shipping time, actually, I find they occurred during the pandemic, during that time when everybody was trying to take advantage of the hand sanitizer craze. So take those negative reviews with a grain of salt. And again, much like the others, they also don't have any private labeling, contract manufacturing, as far as I can tell. Next up on the list is Essential Depot. What can I say about this company? They provide soap supplies. Full stop. Everything from the carrier oils to the essential oils to the molds to the equipment used to stir everything to the 40-50 gallon drums used to store something to the totes used to temporarily hold soap to the packaging used to ship orders out. They have it all. Another plus is, honestly, they seem to be one of the more transparent companies on this list. They have pictures of their sites, their facility, and even some of their staff right on their website, something I honestly haven't seen with the other sites at all. Now, full disclosure, I haven't ordered too many things from them, but they don't appear to be very much a digital first company. They seem to very much be dealing in the distribution networks to Walmart and other big box names, which is fine. As long as you're treating customers right, who cares? Now, next, not to be confused with Essential Depot, we have Essential Wholesale, or as I believe they're now called, Essential Labs. I have much to say about these guys. In fact, I have two of their products right here, back when they were called Essential Wholesale and Labs. This company actually has had one of the more innovative methods for selling beauty care, beauty supply, and they almost exclusively do everything through private label means. What do I mean by this? Well, go to their website, essentiallabs.com, and they already have pre-made stock of various personal care, beauty, makeup items, literally hundreds. Right here I have the green tea facial cleanser, and I have a pumpkin mask. And basically their whole mode of thinking is you can buy these items, slap your brand name on them and sell them directly, or they can, customize these items to whatever degree you want and do the manufacturing on the back end themselves. In fact, Essential Labs probably might be the first place I would go to if I market on any particular product. They literally have something for everyone on that site. I would go. It's pretty great. Another plus for Essential Labs is they're probably the second most diverse supplier online that I've seen of, niche botanicals and extracts, honestly. Making cosmetics clearly being the first, and clearly, as I've already mentioned, they have a pretty robust capability to do contract manufacturing, private labeling, even customs formulation. And back when they were called Essential Wholesale and Labs, they had pretty awesome customer service. Now that they're Essential Labs, I really hope that hasn't changed. We'll see. Now, last I have on the list is a little known company called Makesy.com. That's Makesy. Yes, Makesy is a beauty care supplier that is focused mainly on soap making and candle making, much like Bulk Apothecary, Brambleberry, and Wholesale Supplies Plus. But don't make the mistake, they are not quite the same as those other companies. In fact, I believe Makesy started off as a candle making company because they do have a ton of candle making options. In fact, if I believe right, when I searched their site, they showed 100 different patents on candle wicks. Yes, 100. Another big positive of Makesy.com is they have a more focused approach to high quality, eco-friendly packaging solutions. Some of the eco-friendly packaging you might have seen in this show probably came from Makesy itself. That includes the cardboard lotion pop applicator that I included in the lotion pop tutorial on my channel. And it's interesting to note that Makesy also has what it looks to me like the beginnings of a beauty care consultancy built into their business model, which includes consultations, sessions for this and that and the next thing. So it's going to be interesting in the future how they develop their business and what new product offerings they give to us in the future. Well guys, that wraps up my list for the best beauty ingredient suppliers of 2024. I'm sure there are like tons that I'm missing. I'm sure I'm going to get in the comments plenty of comments about beauty suppliers that I am leaving out or missing. Feel free to leave those comments in the comment section below. In the meantime, I have links to all the suppliers I discussed in the description box, including my own company, alchemistexpress.com. Full disclosure, I own it. For now, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Later for now, and keep formulating.